before we leave Groningen, we have to visit the pancake ship and go aboard, have a pancake. The big old barge. There's the seating area, and there's the old engine.
That's the last bit of canal in Holland, as far as I'm concerned. And it's a long, straight, about 15 miles to Delfzijl. Well, here we are now approaching the harbour entrance to Delfzijl. And when we get outside, we'll be in the River Ems. We cross over and we're into German waters. So that is the end of Holland. Well, this is the start of our German leg of our trip to the Baltic. We're heading downstream along the Ems towards a little island called Bochum, and we're following the channel. The wind's in our favour, the sun's shining, about 22 degrees outside, and Mandy's just made lunch. There it is.
Nice and healthy, I hope you note.
Well done. Well, we've turned now straight into the wind, unfortunately, so we've had to drop the sail, which has lost us a little bit of speed. We've got the wind over the tide, which is chopping up the water a bit, and we're getting one or two good splashes. The drops of water on the windscreen are not rain, it's spray. We're getting bounced about a little bit here, but I'll try and show you where we're going. We're coming up here, up the channel here, and then we're going to turn in there into that marina there, and that's the island of Borkum. And all this is here is areas that dry out at low tide.
Mandy loves to get splashed.
Oh, this is the beach at Norderney. No, it isn't. The beach at Borkum. The beach at Borkum. Well, this is where we went to get to Borkum. Here's Groningen here. We went across here to Delfzijl, into the River Ems, up here to Borkum. And Borkum, Joost and Norderney are featured in the story Riddle of the Sands, a book I can highly recommend. This here is the Waddenzee, and those are the Frisian Islands. Most of the Waddenzee dries out during low tide, and Norden is another place that was featured in that story. It was really one of the very first of the spy stories, and it's well worth a read. And we're going to have a beer along here somewhere. Much welcome after a 3 or 4 mile ride on the bicycles. Isn't it, Mandy?
Oh yes, yes, you should see my legs. Even my knees are less knocked.
Along the promenade we were treated to a bit of street entertainment. Well, we cycled from the marina to the town, but we could have come by train. And then we saw this likely looking coffee stop. So we went up to the place up there, as it is now, and looked out at the sandbanks that we were going to have to go past tomorrow. There's a narrow channel there between the island and those sandbanks, and the tide rip along it is quite considerable.
Well, this is our berth in Norderney, and you can see the tide is out, and we are berthed alongside the wharf because we couldn't get anywhere on the pontoon, which is a shame. It means we're lines are tight with low tide and very slack at high tide. This is quite a nice marina. There's the main building over there. One of the problems is that at low tide it gets very shallow in there. So well done, Mandy, you've prepared the dinner.
Oh, thank you. I'd like to turn your attention to the drinks here. Soft drinks. It's a kind of a cherry cocktail, otherwise known as a Del Boy Special.
Ah, lovely. Okay. And it all looks very inviting. So, tuck in now! Well, it's Wednesday the 12th of July and we're just leaving Norderney, there she is. And up there's a little restaurant that we had coffee in yesterday, and we looked across at the sandbanks. And there they are now, they're awash. The waves breaking on them. Very dangerous. But we're safe in the channel, as is that fishing boat over there. There they are, the sandbanks of the German Bight. Well, we're not far from our turning now, where we're going to turn up towards Helgoland, and we're running parallel with the shipping lane. There's quite a few ships around here. There's some more over there coming out of the Jade and the Vasa. They'll be crossing our bow shortly. Okay, and Mandy's on watch, and she's taking us through all this busy traffic.
Just need to check the radar now to make sure that we're not going to crash into anything.
There's the radar.
We've got a couple of ships off the port side that are not giving us any hassle at all.
There's the GPS that Mandy had to keep an eye on, and next to that is the echo sounder. You can see the depth of the water here is around about 24 metres. And then she also had to keep an eye on the autopilot there, and all the engine gauges. Well, we're finally arriving in Helgoland. There's the harbour entrance, and we'll soon be safely moored up somewhere. Right, well, here's Norderney, where we departed from. Here's Cuxhaven, where we want to get to. This is the River Elbe, and Helgoland is out there. So why do we want to go to Helgoland and not straight to Cuxhaven? Well, the reason is, in my boat, at the speed I can do, I cannot get the right tide at both ends of the trip. And twice in the past, I've made the journey straight from Norderney and into Cuxhaven, and ended up fighting the tide down the Elbe, which can be pretty frightening, because you're right alongside the shipping lane. So you need to have the tide taking you in. So you want to leave Helgoland 2 hours before low tide, get out a little way, and then the tide takes you straight up to Cuxhaven and round to Brunsbüttel, where the Kiel Canal starts. So that's why we're going out to Helgoland. And as a matter of interest, Helgoland belongs to Germany, but it is a tax-free haven, and you can buy some very cheap booze and fags and cigarettes and things like that there, which we did, and we found some very, very cheap vodka, Went to load it up, and the chap said, "Where are you going next?" I said, "Cuxhaven," and he said, "You can't, you can only have one bottle." If I'd said I was going to somewhere in Denmark instead, I could have taken a crate. Never mind, we ended up with one bottle. Well, that's Cuxhaven behind us, and we're in the River Elbe now. As you can see, it's a big river. The other side is right over there, and we're going up the river this way to Brunsbüttel and the Kiel Canal. It's the River Elbe that we're in now that runs up to Hamburg, and it gets quite busy with shipping. There's that one going on its way out, and there's another one coming up behind us on its way in. Look at these confused, choppy waters due to the tidal flow. There's a little eddy here. And there's a big one that was overtaking us. Well, we've just come through the locks at Brunsbüttel into the Kiel Canal. There's a couple of big ships going through there. And now we're in this little tiny marina, which is a sort of holding bay for people waiting to go through the canal, because you're not allowed to go through at night.
Shower desperately.
I do too, but while we're waiting, look at that ship in there. The Saga Ruby. In the lock, waiting to go through the Kiel Canal. Huh. Full of old fogies.
The Saga Ruby. A beautiful, beautiful ship. Even the German on the boat next to us said that she was beautiful. And sadly, she's now gone to the scrapyard. Really, really beautiful. The way ships should look. There's an amazing amount of traffic on the Kiel Canal, commercial stuff. And at one occasion I even passed the Danish Royal Yacht. That's a beautiful boat.
Right, we're in the canal now proper. This is the first bridge we're going to go under, doesn't have to open. Well, that's the transporter bridge at Rendsburg, and hopefully the cradle will go across in a minute. I'll show it to you. And there it is, it's on the move. Well, we're safety berthed in Rendsburg now, and there's the town over there. This little marina, there it is, and look what's beside us, or almost beside us, a little Colvick Watson. Mandy reckons Marcella's been talking to it this afternoon while we've been away in town, but boats don't talk to one another.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. They just rub fenders.
The next day we took a train ride into Kiel and went over the top of the transporter bridge, over the canal. That's where we came up yesterday.
Well, we're in the centre of Kiel now, and it's a very, very pretty city with parks, lakes in the middle. This is where we stopped for a cup of coffee.
Now I've got the cruise boats in here in Kiel. There's quite a big one. And there's a very big one. It's Sunday the 16th of July and we're now out into the Baltic. This is the chart that we're using today, and we started off here in Kiel and came up here, up round here, along here, into here, under the bridge here, and we're going in there and in there, and that's about 40 miles altogether, plus the stuff we did in the canal before we came out. So about 60 miles altogether, or if you like, about 3 times across the channel. Well, we're just coming up to the bridge that links Fehmarn Island to mainland Germany, and you can see over there, that's mainland Germany. There's a lot of traffic on the road, and although the island is very small, and there it is over there, the other side of it is just 10 miles from Germany, and there's a ferry. So the bridge is very busy. We go underneath it, and then a couple of miles the other side is the place we're going to stop at tonight. 7:30 on Monday morning, and we had a wonderful meal in Berg, which is the main town of the island of Fehmarn, last night, with our own personal music. And here we are, berthed in a delightful area to a big factory and some silos, with a very charming little pub cum hotel in the middle, and then some more silos, a tall ship, a bunkering station there, and our very own, couldn't be handier, Chandler's, right next to the boat. Well, that's it. It's bye-bye Brugg and bye-bye Fehmarn Island. Next stop, down that way and round the corner to Denmark. Well, we left Fehmarn Island about an hour ago, and we're now well on our way, under full sail. Perfect, beautiful day, lovely wind, just the right angle, and we got all sails up, and it's gorgeous. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And the wind's been really kind to us, taking along about 7 knots. Right, well, if I knew the Danish anthem, I'd be singing it to you now, but I don't, so we'll just have to watch the flag go up. We have now passed into Danish waters. And that's a shot of the bow, and Gorsella plowing through Danish waters. See the colour of the sea now. Algae, and it's everywhere.